So, Bendy and the Ink Machine. Everyone knows about that indie horror made back in 2017 by. And it was basically about this ink demon guy that came to life and starts, trying to kill you. But that is not what we're talking about today. What we are here to talk about is the fandom. And yes, I know the game's fandom has a very unique reputation. But that is not what we're here to really discuss. And we're only here to discuss one single part of the fandom. And that is the fan comics. And some of them, yes, some are good, some are bad, some are, well, let's just say it's very questionable. But there is this one specific comic that I hate, and it's called Quest for the Ink Machine. Yeah, I know, it's very much for its time, but the main reason why I don't really like this is because of all the stuff that's in it, and the story also makes zero sense in hindsight. I don't know why on earth when I was like a child I ate this up like it was nothing, but I was 11. Was it 12? I was like a child. What am I supposed to do? So, but for the meantime, I taking this as a liberty to reclaim my childhood and stuff like that. I'm going to redraw these goobers. So, sit back, relax, grab a bowl of popcorn, or any of the sort like that. I don't really care. This is mainly unscripted for the most part, so this is just me projecting my thoughts as I don't know, scribble these people down and call it a day. Whatever, bruh. But first, let me briefly summarize this horrible comic story. So, basically, A Quest for the Ink Machine is basically a Twumler Ask Me blurb, where it's basically the artist, who is the Great Rouge. She basically interacts with the audience when it comes to explaining the story. Now, this is both a good thing or a bad thing, mainly because, yes, it's good for characterization and funny moments and stuff like that, but at the same time, it really gets out of place. Yes, it brings some very interesting ideas to the story, but the fans are obviously very much, how can I say this? They're very obsessed with shipping. But, whatever. The gist of it is, Bendy and Boris were going on a mystical quest to find the ink machine because apparently everyone was plagued with ink cancer. I'm not kidding, that's what it's like. We don't really know what it really does to people, but it does kill people. I'll tell you that, we experienced it multiple times. This story is full of angst. But, yeah. They find this guy named Felix, and he knows the way because he's an explorer, because guess what? They're all explorers and engineers! Wow! These are very smart kids. Well, only one's a kid, and that's Boris. Bendy's freshly 18, but we're gonna get to that in a moment, because it really makes my head itch. But there is also Cuphead and Mugman, because guess what? During the time this was made, it was like, 2018, and that game was new, and during that time, people were shipping Cuphead and Mugman. No, people are shipping Cuphead and Mugman, which is gross, by the way, they're brothers, but they're also shipping, and this is more important, Cuphead and Bendy. And yeah, cross-shipping isn't new at all, but it does bring some very interesting dynamics. But that's besides the point. So basically, these goons get into a bunch of hijinks while trying to find the ink machine. There's also the Disney characters and Warner Bros. Characters, but they're barely in there, so who cares, bruh? But all that stuff gets lost in translation because the fans are demanding that Bendy and Cuphead must kiss in 4K. And as much as I don't really care about shipping, it's just more like, bro, you completely threw out whatever baseline you had for a story. for whatever that is. As you can tell, I don't really like this. It's terrible, honestly. But I'll complain about it more once I get started into redrawing these people. And I'm gonna start first with the main character, which is Bendy, the demon. Okay, so what on earth was even his original design? First of all, he looked too much like a cat, because I didn't even think, oh, that was Bendy the ink demon. No, he looked like a cat. Now, that's because he looked way too much like Felix in a way. But the main point that I'm really upset about is that he looks like he's 14. Okay, in this particular universe, Bendy is 18, fresh my age, bro. And bro, he looks underage, and that's bad because he's shipped with Cuphead and he's 23. And I'll get into Cuphead in a minute, but I had to redo. I mean, their original designs were pretty fine for the most part, but when I realized, oh, they're engineers, I had to make that a little bit more obvious. He didn't look like an engineer, he just looked like a regular explorer who just carried stuff. And since he has the ink disease, he was actively falling apart. And yes, it's depicted that he was seen, you know, being dripped out. I mean, dripping. His skin was dripping off. But, I wanted to put my own little spin on it, so I made him wrap himself in bandages, because if he does not keep himself, you know, physically held together, he will melt into a pile of ink and practically die. So, yeah. I wanted to keep his original, you know, depictions of him in there, because he was seen as more of a cocky, eccentric little guy. And I don't want to lose that for him being characterized as a little suppy little baby, and he's so weak and useless and stuff like that. Yo, he's a grown, he's not gonna act like that. So I basically, you know, recharacterize him for the most part. And here it is. I kind of kept the original palette intact, you know, I kind of, you know, desaturated a bit. But for the most part, that's just gonna be it for the others as well, so that's that. And also, I'm changing the eyes, because they are cartoon characters at the end of the day, so yeah. Alright, up next is Boris, which in this particular comic, he's depicted as Bendy's little brother, because during the time, he and Bendy were basically depicted as brothers, and honestly that's fine, I don't really care about that. But the problem in question is that he has gotten the papyrus treatment from Undertale, and what I mean by that is that he is depicted as this cute little cinnamon roll who's done no wrong, basically on vacation stuff, and that got me so annoyed looking back. Because, bro, I'm pretty sure Boris is more than capable of himself, but then again, he is quite literally 12, so obviously that. But why does everyone have to baby him? But yeah, I kind of, you know, switched up some of his stuff. I gave him more bandages, because he's more accident prone, if anything. He doesn't have the disease that Bendy has, but I can see him being a little bit clumsy and stuff like that, so he does mess himself up just a bit. And yeah, I kind of, you know, made him look more like a dog, because the original creator kind of just chippified him and stuff like that. I don't really, and it's not that it's a big of an issue, but man, he looks like he's been artificially bred that way. But he's not a dog, he's a wolf. So I kind of kept that in there, but you know, just because he's like young and stuff like that, I made him have like one of his floppy ears, because that's what wolf pups look like. Trust me, I know my animals. But yeah, this is Boris. He's okay for a character in the comics, you know. He's fine. We barely see him that much compared to the others, but he's kind of just like a second hand to Bindi and stuff like that. He's cute. Whatever. Next. So next up is Felix. They really done Felix dirty because Felix is the oldest of the main group of characters, but he's written really, I guess, young. I don't know. He's written like he's a young adult, but yeah, he's 30. Okay, that's a grown man. But I hate how they characterized him because he's shipped with Oswald for angst purposes mainly, and because he looks like Oswald's wife. But the main reason why I hate it is because he's written like he's a woman. Okay, they femboy him hard for the most part, and it's annoying because Felix, when it comes to his cartoons, he's more of just like a sassy, back-talking man, just like Bugs Bunny, and to see that stripped away from him is wild, to say the least. And so I decided to, you know, make him look more of his age. He's an ex-explorer, and that's why Bindi and Boris are coming over to him saying, bro, we need your help. You know how to do this, but we do not. So I kind of make him look more older and stuff like that. He's basically... he's basically sick and tired, man. So am I. So, yeah, I just put that in there. I kind of hated his clothes in a way. Maybe it's just because of the color palette, so I kind of brightened that up for him. And for the most part, he's okay. I like him. I just hate how he was... Actually, no, I lied. I do not like him. It's terrible what they done to him, bro. I hate it. I hate it so much. But, whatever. It's not bad compared to the next guy. I promise you. So, Cuphead. I hated his character. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Not only from the way he's drawn, because his outfit, first of all, his outfit absolutely sucks. He's supposed to be a detective in this thing, and he does not look like that at all. But also, I hate his personality. It's not like the Cuphead that's depicted in the, in the games, because the show obviously hasn't come out yet. But instead, he's weird, to say the least. I hated his character. I don't know why people actively, you know, had a crush on him. I did not, obviously. But, it's weird. The way he was shipped with Bindi was weird. The way he treats Bindi is weird. Bro, I don't like it. So I kind of changed him around, you know, made him more of a serious business type of guy. He's more serious than he probably should be, since, you know, it's his job. But at the same time, I want him to be a little bit more of a definitely overestimates himself type of guy. And also, is it just me, or is it the fact that I hate the fact that he has like an anime guy face, but it is not conventionally fitting himself. But whatever. Here's Cuphead. I hate him. Yay! And last but not least is, in fact, Cuphead's own brother, Mugman. He straight up is Papyrus in this thing. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, look at his original outfit. You can tell that To Great Rouge has just left the Undertale fandom, because that's just Papyrus. But he's barely there, honestly. I can barely remember him other than just being, oh yeah, you go Cuphead, I'm your brother. Yeah, go Cuphead, whatever, cheerleader, yeah, rah, rah, rah. I wanted to have a little bit more of a character, more character literally in general, honestly. So, I may have been taking some inspiration off of the, you know, Cuphead and Mugman show. So he's more, you know, skeptical about what his brother's up to and stuff like that. Especially since, you know, both detective work, you gotta make sure everything's all right all the time. But, yeah. I kind of changed up his outfit because, bro, they do not match. They do not look like the detectives. So, yeah, I just stuck him in a regular, you know, suit and stuff like that. And, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to add to him. He's kind of a nothing character, and that's kind of sad, because as a character, I do like Mugman. But, whatever, no one really cared about him, so here he is! Now, would I do this again? Maybe. Would I post about it again in a video? Maybe. Honestly, I already have a couple of designs stocked up already. And I only made this because I was bored. And feeling a little bit malicious that day. But I probably didn't even like these designs in the future, but you know what? I worked hard. Might as well show them off. But yeah, maybe I'll think about doing something like this again and maybe talking on here, because oh boy, I need to post on my YouTube channel a whole lot more. So yeah, Joy. I mean, it's cool and whatever. It's kind of just something I'm doing just to, you know, pass the time and maybe edit a bit, because I have not made a video like this before. And you can obviously tell. So yeah, that is it. Hopefully you enjoyed them, because I kind of do. Yeah. So that is like about all for the video anyway. So what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be going home, scrolling along, or tapping on anything else? I gotta keep the rent low around here, so bye!